Hi everybody, my name is Owen, and today I'm going to give you guys my top 10 favorite comic book characters. This list is going to be solely based off comic books, so there won't be any influence from movies, TV shows, video games, or anything like that. And that's basically because there are some heroes that I haven't read comics about that are famous in the movies, like Iron Man. And vice versa, there are some characters that I have read about that just aren't as good in the comics as they are in the movies. I'm looking at you, Loki. So I have a bit of a confession. I didn't grow up reading comic books. I only started reading them about 5 years ago. And I know that's pretty much the same time that other people started doing it because it seemed cool now. But I really enjoyed them once I started reading them. There's some really great stories and they lock you right in. But looking back at it now, I wish I would have started way earlier because there's a bunch of great stories out there that I wish I would have grown up with. So without further ado, let's get to the list. At number 10 is Superman. I know there are a lot of people who will probably be surprised that such an iconic hero is so low on my list, but don't get me wrong, he's a really great character. He just doesn't appeal to me as much as other characters do, and you'll find on this list that there's some pretty dark stuff. And Superman is the exact opposite of dark. He's the great hero who's out there to save the day and protect the innocent. So we all know who Superman is, but I'll just give you a brief rundown. He's from Krypton, his planet was going to explode, so his father sent him to Earth so he could live a full life. When he got to Earth, he was found and raised by Jonathan and Martha Kent, and grew up Clark Kent. By the way, his Kryptonian name is Kal-El. So, Superman's powers: he can fly, he has impenetrable skin, he has freeze breath, he has heat ray, he has a whole bunch of powers. Where I like Superman best is when he's paired with Batman, because the two of them together are a great duo, whether they're working together or fighting each other. So now I think we're ready to move on to number 9, which is the Scarecrow. So the Scarecrow is actually Dr. Jonathan Crane. He developed a fear toxin in the form of gas and uses it against his enemies. When it affects his enemies, they're haunted by their worst nightmares. And I find that really interesting because it's essentially turning our fears against us. I like the fact that he's more of a psychological villain and not a beat-em-up kind of villain. And the idea of using people's fears against them is a really cool concept to me. So now at number 8 we have Spider-Man. Again, we all know who Spider-Man is, but I'm just gonna quickly break it down for you. Spider-Man is Peter Parker. He was bit by a radioactive spider which gave him spider powers. He learned that with great power comes great responsibility, and he's the protector of New York City. Not only does Peter Parker have the spider powers, but he's also really smart, so he has a bunch of gadgets that help him out. Some of his most famous ones are his web shooters. I really like Spider-Man's personality. He's kind of cocky, but not the annoying kind of cocky. And he likes to throw in a good joke every once in a while. Another thing that's great about him is his rogues gallery. He has one of the best rogue galleries in comics. Number 7 is Cable. Now he has a very long origin story, so I'm just going to compact it a bit. His name is Nathan Summers. He is the son of Cyclops and a clone of Jean Grey. I'm just saying it's a clone, I'm not going any more into it. When he was a baby, he was infected with a techno-organic virus, which threatened to turn his entire body into a machine. He was basically sent into the future with hopes that they would find a cure for the virus. There was no actual cure, so his powers are the only thing that were keeping the virus at bay. Some of his powers are telekinesis and telepathy. The virus did spread a bit through his body, mostly on his left side, so he does have a bionicle arm and eye. Because of this, he has superhuman strength, endurance, and durability. He's also an extremely smart tactician. Now he eventually comes back to the present day from the future, and one of the things he does is he leads the X-Force. Number 6 is Dick Grayson as Robin and Nightwing. So Dick Grayson and his family were a part of the circus. They were known as the Flying Graysons, until one day his parents were tragically killed. He was then adopted by Bruce Wayne. Bruce then proceeded to train him, and he became the first Robin. He eventually stopped being Batman's sidekick and founded the Teen Titans. And when he eventually outgrew the Robin mantle, he became Nightwing. Now he already had an acrobat background. Add that with being trained by Batman, and a few gadgets also inspired by Batman, and you get one kick-ass hero. Now Dick Grayson is by far my favorite Robin. And I know Robin usually gets a bad rap, but he is an awesome sidekick. Number 5 is Carnage. That's him there. So Carnage is an alien symbiote that is the offspring of Venom. The symbiote bonded with Cletus Cassidy, who is a psychotic serial killer. The two combined created something terrible. Carnage is absolutely ruthless and does not hesitate to kill. He's also completely insane. That can sometimes make it difficult for Spider-Man to deal with him. Carnage can make his limbs take any shape he wants, kind of like the T-1000. Speaking of alien symbiotes, number 4 is Venom. That's him there. Venom was the original symbiote that came to Earth. It had originally bonded with Spider-Man, but he soon broke the bond, which caused the symbiote to greatly hate Spider-Man. The symbiote was then attracted to Eddie Brock, who also had a great hatred for Spider-Man. The two bonded and became one of the greatest Spider-Man villains. Venom is a big physical force. He's there to beat down Spider-Man. Though the part that I like is that Spider-Man and Venom have had some shaky alliances because they needed to take down Carnage. Number 3 is Deadpool. Oh, Deadpool. So Deadpool is Wade Wilson. He's a highly trained mercenary who volunteered for Weapon X once he was diagnosed with cancer. He was told that he would get a healing factor and be completely healed of his cancer. While he did get a healing factor, it didn't cure his cancer, it just keeps it at bay. He also has enhanced reflexes, as well as being completely insane, which is one of the reasons why I love him. Deadpool is one of the funniest characters out there. One of the most famous things he does is breaking the fourth wall. He knows he's in a comic book, and he will let you know that. Number 2 is Batman. So Batman is Bruce Wayne. He was orphaned at a young age when his parents were killed in Crime Alley. He then swore to protect the people of Gotham. Batman is highly trained, extremely intelligent, and has a vast arsenal of gadgets. Some people might think that Batman isn't all that great because he doesn't have any actual powers. But he's actually taken down Superman a few times. One of my favorite graphic novels is The Dark Knight Returns. It's a really great Batman story, and it also features Superman too. And that all leaves my number 1 favorite character, the Joker. It might be weird to have a villain as my favorite character, but for some reason there's just something about him that I find really fascinating. So the Joker doesn't have any powers either, and he doesn't really have a true origin story. There are a few different origin stories, but the Joker himself has stated that sometimes he remembers it one way, sometimes another, and that's just another reason why I love the character. He, again, much like other characters on this list, is extremely insane. He is completely unpredictable. If he's in the middle of a plan and he decides to change it, he will, because he's thought of something funner to do. Now the Joker is Batman's greatest enemy, but he actually doesn't want to kill Batman. He sees Batman as basically a toy to be played with, and if he were to kill Batman, well, he would just be bored. The Joker knows that his ultimate victory will come from Batman killing the Joker, because Batman's one rule is that he will not kill. So if the Joker can get him to break that rule, it will mean that he ultimately wins. And that may not be a great argument, but that is why the Joker is my favorite comic book character. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I'm trying out something new here, so let me know what you think. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, I really appreciate it. And if you want, you can leave me some comments below as to what your top 10 list is, or if you have an idea of what I should make a video about. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button so you can get notified every time a new video comes out, and thanks for watching.